On Monday, February the 5th, Red Bull released a statement in which it said that its team principal, Christian Horner, is being investigated. However, they refused to state what the allegations were. But if you hide things from the media will form its own opinion. And sure enough, two theories soon emerged. One section of the media reported that Horner's investigation was because of his harsh managerial style. Dutch newspaper The Telegraph and the Associated Press championed this narrative. The other narrative, as rumored by some tabloids, said that Horner sent his inappropriate photos to a female employee. But the more you look at these allegations, the less sense they make. Something doesn't add up. F1 is a pressure cooker environment. Anybody who can't cope might be better suited to working at legacy auto like Toyota or Ford. On the other hand, an allegation of inappropriate photos would sure deserve the kind of media attention this story is getting. But Horner knows all too much about sexual recklessness. It is quite unlikely that he would be foolish enough to make such a slip. What is really going on at Red Bull? Is there a third narrative to this story that Red Bull itself cannot admit? The death of Dietrich Mateschitz, the founder of Red Bull, created a power vacuum in the organization. Christian Horner, Helmut Marko, and Red Bull CEO Oliver Mintzlaff have been fighting among themselves to take more power. It should also be noted that the fight among them appears to be a three-way battle, where all three men have a mutual and equal hatred for one another. On today's episode, we will decipher the power play at Red Bull by bringing you first-hand information from Dutch, American, and German newspapers, while also quoting seasoned F1 journalists who leaked this story. Red Bull is about to implode from within. The protagonists will destroy everything they have built for the past 18 years just to gain more power. And to add to the twist, Helmut Marko has rejected the job of team principal. This team will implode from within. Hit the subscribe button to support the channel. Welcome to Front Lockout. Red Bull's dirty house of cards. Red Bull might be the most dominant force on track, but back at the office it is arguably the most dysfunctional team on the grid. A certain journalist called Eric van Haren, who works at Dutch newspaper The Telegraph, was the first to break the news that Christian Horner is being investigated. But it was not a mere coincidence that a Dutch paper first broke the news. Some believe that Max Verstappen's father, who is, of course, is Dutch, was the one who leaked the allegation to the press. There has always been bad blood between Horner and Jos Verstappen. The father usually wants preferential treatment for his son, but Horner has always told him to shut up. Whether the allegations against Horner were due to his management style or sexual behavior isn't quite the main issue, but the manner in which the team is treating one of F1's all-time best managers is worrisome. The way Red Bull has handled this issue points to a lot of bad blood in the organization. Red Bull have behaved as though they are more interested in crucifying their own team principal, rather than seeking to address a problem. And we will tell you why. Red Bull HQ, the ones in charge of the energy drinks, released the statement regarding the allegations. Why this is odd is that the HQ habitually never makes communications over internal matters. Their decision to go public without looking to solve the issue in-house caught Horner and his lawyers by surprise. If a matter that happened back at the Formula One garage got to headquarters, the only person who would have sanctioned the investigation is the CEO of Corporate Projects and New Investments, Oliver Mintzlaff. There are two possible allegations against Horner, but let's even assume the worst of the two: inappropriate photos. If this was the case, common sense points to the fact that Red Bull would have given Horner the benefit of the doubt rather than casting him to ridicule in the media. A concerned CEO would have sat with the accuser and her lawyers and asked them what they really want. However, Oliver doesn't seem to be interested in the merit of the accusations. What he appears to see is an opportunity to oust Horner and grab more power. It really doesn't matter how fickle the allegations are. With the right pressure, a weak allegation could suddenly be amplified. Just recently, the FIA had made allegations against Toto Wolff's wife, only for all the teams to release statements that they did not accuse Susie of anything, and that they in fact very much like her. If Horner can be gotten rid of, the next target will be Helmut Marko, and at 80 years old he would be much easier to retire. But the issues at Red Bull run deep. The relationship between Horner and Helmut has soured over time. In January of this year, Horner offered Helmut a 3-year contract extension till 2027, but there was a catch. He offered the old man a 50% salary cut. The trick was probably to force Helmut out, and the reduced salary is like giving a man a rope to hang himself. Apparently, Helmut is rather impossible to sack. The reason for this is that Max Verstappen once threatened to quit if he doesn't see Helmut in the garage. If you have studied Max and Helmut closely enough, you will realize that Helmut rarely ever criticizes Max. It is always the fault of the second driver, never Verstappen. As Helmut is able to protect his job by tying himself to Max, Horner also has a similar alliance of his own. According to well-informed British journalist Joe Soward, there is a secret pact between Christian Horner and Adrian Newey. The CEO might hate Horner all he wants and can indeed sack him, but the one man that nobody in Red Bull can mess with is Adrian Newey. It was reported that Adrian Newey and Christian Horner made a pact to protect each other. If one of them is to leave or sacked, the other would follow. His replacement. Following his appearance with the investigative panel, more details emerged. Sky Sports' Craig Slater said, "There's an allegation of inappropriate behavior by Christian Horner by a female member of staff, and I understand that relates to controlling and potentially coercive behavior. This looks like a ploy to frustrate Horner out of the job. If he doesn't survive this allegation, Jonathan Wheatley, their sporting director, will take charge." Helmut Marko has also been touted as a man to take charge, but German publication Motorsport magazine said that Helmut rejected the job. There is also the possibility of Red Bull to hire someone from the outside, like Mattia Binotto. Whatever happens regarding this case, there are doubts if Horner will choose to continue, even if he comes out clean. If these allegations are not sexual as widely reported, then Adrian Newey will most likely stick with him, in which case Red Bull will be truly finished. This is madness we have on our hands. Leave us your thoughts in the comments. This is Front Lockout, signing off.